So, like I said, think about what really makes sense. Do Tupac look like a doja to y'all? Like a soldier? Where a nigga could tell him some shit and he gonna go and risk, he gonna send the little homies. So just think about, what could he have told him? Take the chain story out your brain. What could he have told Pac to make Pac go run over there? Think about it. Right? So you see all these years later, how Marv James, Reggie still have a relationship, Keefe-D. You see how they all still connected from way back then? And this is the dude that's supposed to shot up Suge and Tupac, right? Or in the car with them, right? That shit is a lie, y'all. You think if he'd be cool with Keefe-D and calling him and this, that, and the phone, he tricked Keefe-D into telling or doing that shit to get locked up so it don't come back to him, allegedly. Keefe-D was just slow. Orlando Anderson was not in that fucking car, y'all. The eye in the sky don't lie, right? Ask Corey Edwards. Go look at the police report, the hospital report, when Orlando Anderson when he got his shoulder checked, and see if he could have got from the hospital to the shooting scene at that time. No. Y'all got stuck with that image of Tupac and them niggas beating this thing up in there, and it's easy for them niggas to manipulate your mind and tell you that that shit was just retaliation because he jumped on the wrong nigga. No. Orlando was not in that goddamn car. What Gaddafi told you. He was there. Wack wasn't. What Gaddafi tell you? He was there. Reggie wasn't. It was a light-skinned nigga, bald head, looked like a bitch in the face with a cap on. Light-skinned. Nobody in that car that they telling y'all is light-skinned. You know how many times they changed it on who was in that goddamn car? Let me see some.
Have you gotten a chance to talk to Michael Carlin? He was working.
Hold on, let me do my legal thing here. Watch this. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair uses of use permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit educational person whose tips the balance in favor of fair use. Damn, I almost had it. All right, now check this out here. Shout out to Michael Carlin, man. I'm using this to criticize and critique.
Informants have told police that mob Pyrus are suspects in this murder. The suspect was described, But there was that Tuesday morning before I got to Vegas, I called Reggie and I said, Reggie, before he got retirement and then things Reggie has done throughout the years. I was a policeman before Reggie was, but Reggie was a jailer for the city. Reggie got caught stealing prisoners' money, but because okay, have you ever heard, or there are all kinds of talk and bullshit because the gang in there, Suge having anybody killed? Mr. Hackey, yeah, I actually heard. Well, put it to you this way. I was actually told by Reggie on two different occasions before Finch's brother was killed. Finch's? Okay, Finch, Lawrence Finch, with the Compton School Police. Before Bobby was killed that morning, I was maybe I hadn't got on the plane yet, but there was that Tuesday morning before I got to Vegas. I called Reggie and I said, Reggie, Finch's brother just got killed. How do you know about that? Whatever. I mean, the dispatcher at the Compton School Police, Barbara, just called me. This is occurred within like 3 or 4 minutes because the officers from Compton College, because Compton College Police, Mario, who also works part time for Compton School District Police, when Bobby lived, District Police, where Bobby lived, was like within 2 blocks of the college. So, being they heard the gunshots, Mario was the first guy as soon as Bobby got shot. And I called Reggie, and 3 or 4 minutes later, and the incident just occurred because when Mario called for help from, the Compton College paramedics, our units were there then. There's no way in hell Reggie being Vegas, Reggie would have known about it if they hadn't already set it up. Pool. Why would they set it up? End of tape. Mr. Miller. We're on now. Okay. Hacky. Okay, let me rephrase this. Finch was a setup. He walked out to his car, got in the car, going to take off and some guy pulled in a sedan and pumped a couple of rounds through the car. He left his house based upon the fact that statement Reggie had made to me. He basically said to me, don't mention that to Suge. I already know about it. And I'm like, well, how did you know? This just happened within 3 or 4 minutes. The murder, what Compton police say from the affidavit. On September 11th, 1996,
You see how Reggie could find out about murders within minutes? This thing got the bat phone for murders. And this dude like, yo, how could you know? And he supposed to be in Vegas. Like,
approximately 0905 hours, Bobby Finch was killed in a drive-by shooting at 1513 South Mayo, Southside Crip area. Informants have told police that mob Pyrus are suspects in this murder. The suspect was described as a male, black in a tan or red 70s or 80s Honda Civic hatchback. Case number 9635843. Las Vegas Police Department advised that the vehicle Cadillac used to shoot Tupac contained 2 to 4 male black occupants, and they've received several anonymous calls, mostly saying Baby Lane shot Tupac. They've also received calls saying Darnell Brim, Bobby Finch, and Davon Brooks were also in the vehicle with Baby Lane.
y'all heard those names? Do that sound like Keefe-D, Freaky Dre, or Big Dre, Orlando Anderson, and fucking T Brown? And who's this anonymous tip that called and said, oh, they heard it was Baby Lane? Probably Pork Butt. Who else in Vegas would have called and gave them this tip? Or was it his pops after he called his pops and told him who did it? They playing with your heads, bro. They playing with your heads.